100 Stoic quotes that will change your life. To be calm is the highest achievement of the self. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors, unless with a view to some mutual benefit. The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Be as you wish to seem. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. Do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in a few. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Happiness depends upon ourselves. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Do not waste your time on what you cannot control or influence. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Freedom is not procured by a full enjoyment of what is desired, but by controlling the desire. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Of all the means to ensure happiness throughout the whole life, by far the most important is the acquisition of friends. We should not moor a ship with one anchor or our life with one hope. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. The wise man is self-sufficient. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Ideas are the source of all things. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. The goal of life is living in agreement with nature. Time is the most valuable thing that a man can spend. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. The wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity, for always he has striven to rely predominantly on himself and to derive all joy from himself. If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. There is no easy way from the earth to the stars. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we say. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Not what we have, but what we enjoy, constitutes our abundance. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. No man is free who is not master of himself. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. It is impossible for a man to be cheated by anyone but himself. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. Courage is knowing what not to fear. To be feared is to fear. No one has been able to strike terror into others and at the same time enjoy peace of mind. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Death does not concern us, because as long as we exist, death is not here. And when it does come, we no longer exist. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. He who is brave is free. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. The universe is change, our life is what our thoughts make it. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. I cannot teach anybody anything, I can only make them think. Be slow to fall into friendship, but when you are in, continue firm and constant. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. The beginning is the most important part of the work. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. The only way to happiness is by not caring about things which are beyond the power of our will. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The measure of a man is what he does with power. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. We are not given a short life, but we make it short, and we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Freedom is not the right to do what we want, but the ability to do what is right. The mind in its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. It is not death or pain that is to be dreaded, but the fear of pain or death. Kindly words do not enter so deeply into men as a reputation for kindness. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The wise man will live as long as he ought, not as long as he can. Strong minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, weak minds discuss people. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body.